Watch the news.
I got some realtor tips I want to give.
Absolutely.
Oh, Raymond, you're about to be a realtor, huh?
Yes, man, I love these classes. We're almost done with the Principles of Real Estate book,
Nice.
and I'm excited.
Let's
Yesterday
talk a little bit about that.
was a great session, man.
Nice.
We learned about appraisals,
Oh, nice.
everything that has to do with qualifying,
Yeah.
getting a loan.
Yeah.
The
Love it,
whole
love
line,
it.
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm excited because everybody that I run into, just like you, they're always saying, man, Ray, I think you're going to make a great realtor.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, like a lot of the finance side of it too. That's I think that's important, especially if you're going to be a realtor, to also know both sides of it. You know, you got to be a little familiar with both.
Absolutely.
Well, he's definitely negotiated on enough properties, not
Yeah.
only using realtors, doing it on your own. That's big time right there.
Yeah.
You know, being able to experience it and have that experience to bring to the table as a realtor.
Absolutely.
You know, having the, and then you're also ethical and having that. You know, if somebody finds a good deal, you know, there's going to be times where people grow. You know, like you're growing. And where sometimes you need your realtor, sometimes you don't. But you are,
Yeah.
I can tell you, you know, we've grown as friends, but
Absolutely.
it's you've been very faithful to keeping using your team. That's
Absolutely.
why we've actually became a team.
That's also kind of part of how, like, you talk to like all the big guys who quote unquote made it, right? Everybody has a small circle.
Mhm.
Nobody's doing like all this big stuff with like a crowd of people. It's like 5 dudes who start investing.
Have
You know, it's like
your circle is crucial.
Absolutely.
Raymond, can I have you talking to the mic?
Yes, Anthony, how you doing today?
Doing well.
Very good, very good. Did you get me? I'm not sure. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, perfect.
And then Robert, can I have you talking to the mic?
Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. Is it too
Yeah,
far?
it's a little too far from you.
How about now?
Check.
Check 1 2 3.
That's-
Check 1 2 3.
That's good. And Bobby?
hello, testing.
All right.
Mortgage
we're good.
Talk podcast.
Okay, so I'm gonna try something a little different today.
Okay.
So normally I give you guys an 8:16 time mark.
Producers.
So
Sorry.
when we hit 20 minutes, I'm gonna put a timer for about 9 minutes and 30 seconds, just so I feel like I'm not rushing you guys. And you know, I feel like, you know, when I give you like a 5-minute mark, it's like you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have it right here. That way you guys have an idea of where you guys are going, how to finish things off, and
Okay.
That's
and
cool.
see. We're gonna try that today.
Sounds. Hey,
Yeah.
we're all yours, man. Lead us.
Sounds
So
good.
I'll still give you the 8-minute mark, the 60-minute mark, but once it hits around 20 minutes, I'm gonna put a timer right here, so that way you guys have an idea of where you guys are at.
Right on. We got it.
Right.
Okay, right on, brother. Thank you.
No problem. All right, and then everyone ready?
Yeah, start us off.
Alrighty.
We are ready.
All right. And whenever you're ready.
And welcome back to Mortgage Podcast on 960 AM with
Mortgage
loan,
talk. You can
with
edit.
loan originator Robert Bulmer, NMLS number 322918, and Bobby Bulmer, NMLS number 2060902, and Mr. Raymond Aquino, our investor slash realtor, or almost realtor, very close to being a realtor. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody out there who's listening. We have some interesting topics today. Some stuff about the market and kind of what we're doing with, you know, the holiday season, kind of how everything's slowed down, and still how the news is pushing the fear mongering on everybody, and we're going to kind of touch base on that too today.
So yeah, I have a couple realtor tips regarding seller credits. You know, we're gonna get into Raymond. You know, you're working on your realtor. You were talking about your realtor class you just recently had. But seller credits, once a realtor establishes a seller's bottom line, what's the worst case scenario price? Then we don't have to freak out about seller credits when we hear a buyer wants seller credits, because that's where the market's trending. I think we could all agree that, and when we're seeing the market and when you're talking to people, Bobby and I, of course, are seeing it, and how we're coaching up our buyers is, hey, this market, one of the big advantages is getting those seller credits to help cover closing costs and rate buy down. I mean, when you look at the not have, you know, the people and when the markets were great, when rates were super great, when we look at the difference in payment from then till now, and versus the seller credits people don't have to, you know, are getting from the seller to cover their buyer's cost, man, it's going to take years, 2 or more years, to pay that in extra payment. So chances are there'll be a time where we can reduce the payment, especially if you're buying with minimum down payment. You got to go into it thinking, hey, there's going to be a time where I'm going to want to refinance to, you know, to get the best payment. So, Ray, how was your realtor class, Raymond?
Hello, everyone. Very good, very good. Thank you. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Robert. Hello, everyone out there. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Christmas is upon us, and everything has slowed down, as everyone can see and feel, right? Because of all the prices going up and everything. But the realtor class I took last night, along with every other Wednesday for about 4 weeks now. Awesome. Yesterday we did units or chapters 13, 14, and 15 on the principles book of real estate. And guys, it was just amazing. This was the best class so far. It had to do with, what was it? Appraisals. It had to do with appraisals. Exactly what you guys are talking about here, right?
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing class, guys. I'm excited to get my realtor's license as well.
Yeah, that actually leads me appraisals, because we are still getting great appraisals. So getting back to seller credits, we know that as a realtor, you should be preparing your seller for worst case. Here, what's your bottom line price? What are you going to net? What's your best case price? What is your expectations? Well, and getting their expectations in line with reality. So once you know the bottom line, if we know with comps and everything, there's appraisals are again coming in very strong still, because we haven't really seen that major drop. There's still plenty of buyers. We're in a housing crisis, a lot of buyers. So really, that's when we know that it'll appraise for a certain amount, understanding seller credits, your seller's bottom line, adding in the buyer's requested seller credits on top of that, and looking at that purchase price and being able to break it down, articulate it properly to your seller that, hey, after giving this buyer these seller credits, you're going to net more than this cash buyer or this other person who's not wanting seller credits, versus just hearing, oh, the buyer wants seller credits, never mind. Let's do the basic easy math, okay? The seller wants a certain amount no matter what. Go ahead.
So right now is the best time to be creative when you're a buyer, because the market has changed. It's no longer a seller's market out there. So being out there in my market in High Desert, I'm always looking for good deals. I'm on Realtor.com, Zillow, checking out stuff, inventory that's on MLS, right? And I'm always looking for opportunities and running my numbers, running my formulas to see if it'll cash flow that 9% return that I'm looking for, or greater. Now's the time to get creative, guys, okay? And talk to those lenders out there. Talk to your lender. Call up Robert, call up Bobby, and ask them, what can we do? This is my position. Don't be afraid to reach out and contact them, or any lender out there, right? Because you're not going to know where you stand unless you do your homework and reach out, guys. These opportunities don't just come to you. You have to go find them and make those opportunities, guys.
Yeah, I think Bobby could agree. We talk about the hunt. I call it the hunt for the house, when a buyer's hunting for a house. Once you are coached up properly, we talk about the 3 main factors, the 3 main categories when qualifying to buy a home for a home loan, for the good ones. Hunting for a house, finding the deal could take sometimes up to a couple of years. I have a family we're working with now. they were hunting for 2 years and finally got the right property. So you're not missing out. We talked about, you hear on the news, everything going on. I'm telling you right now, when you look at all the positives and negatives, let's look at the math. When you look at getting up to 6% of the purchase price from the person selling it to cover all the closing costs and interest rate buy down, we call it, so you can get it the lowest rate possible, those are pretty solid rates historically. And when you look at that credits that they're getting to do that versus just when we were in that seller's market at the beginning of the year, when everybody was negotiating because it was a mad dash when rates were low. Now all of a sudden, this is when, if you can pull it off now, this is when you come up the most. Because when rates drop again, prices skyrocket higher than the last high. So, when you look at that seller credits for closing costs versus the buyers who had to pay all their closing cost, and it adds up fast. That's monthly savings. It's going to take a couple years. It's going to take a couple years to recover the money they spent on closing costs. This is a hard way to explain it. So the money you're saving, only paying the down payment when negotiating right for a home and getting those seller credits, that savings on closing cost is going to take years, 1, 2, even 3 years or more to recover that difference in payment. Oh, I missed the interest rates. Well, guess what? Here's the other advantage now. Seller credits. It's hot right now. This is the advantage for buyers. We're getting decent prices. It's a healthy market. I think our first episode, we had Bobby Tarango from Chicago Title. We got to have him on again, and his partner Mike that he works with. They are title experts, and let me tell you, we're in a healthy market with listings right now.
That's funny. Sorry to interrupt, but Bobby Tarango's name was mentioned yesterday at the real estate class that I have. Yeah. Funny you mentioned that.
He's actually really well known up here. If you guys don't know
Yeah.
Bobby Tarango, he is the man. He is very well known. We actually had him. If you guys check out our YouTube at Mortgage Talk Podcast, you'll see our videos with him as well. But touching back on what you said about seller credits and the equation for how to calculate that, because right now, yes, everything's slowing down. You probably aren't finding realtors that are working on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or whenever you're ready to look for a house right now this week because of the holidays. Now's a great time to hunker down and start doing some homework. Okay, so we're talking about seller credits. The equation for that is you take whatever purchase price, so let's say it's $350,000, that's the house you want. You times that, multiply it by 6%, and you can get up to 21. That's the number is 21,000 if you do with 350. You could get up to $21,000 in free money. For your closing costs and or interest rate buy down.
Well, you actually have to do that. You actually have to, because we call it hard cost. The hard cost, you actually have to, when you're buying a house, there's hard cost. These are costs everybody has. 99% of them are the same. So, because there's third-party fees involved. We just talked about Bobby Tarango, which he's on the title and escrow side. Title of the home, who owns it, the county recordings. Let's do a shout out real quick. You guys, let's go ahead, give them our number. Everybody, let's give a shout out.
Okay, yeah, if you guys want to reach us, we're going to talk about these seller credits again coming after this break. If you guys want to call us at any time at 760-669-7813 to get a hold of us regarding any questions or information that you guys have concerns about. You can visit our website at fbchomeloans.com/rbulmer, or you can go to our YouTube at Mortgage Talk Podcast, and there we'll have the video. You can see us talking. You can see us talk with our hands. We're big hand talkers. So go check that out on the cameras. Yeah, everybody knows we talk with our hands. But yeah, give us Mr. Aquino, didn't you have a
Yes.
well?
Thank you. I started this YouTube channel this year called Investing in Rentals. I found my passion, and the content that I put out is basically trying to influence people on educating themselves into buying cash flowing assets, whether it be rental properties, investment properties, or even opening up a business, right? We only live once, and the opportunities come and they go, guys, and we have to recognize a good opportunity and grab it while it's there. You can reach me on Instagram as well at Ray Aquino, and on TikTok at Ray Aquino 99. Now, I'd like to mention the restaurant, Springhouse Family Restaurant as well, located at 16441 Main Street, Hesperia, California. 92345 760-949-2441 is the phone number. All American Diners, been there for decades. We just took it over in 2018. Come check us out, guys, please. And thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, and go check out the YouTube channels that we mentioned too. Raymond's is investing in real estate. I found my passion. Investing in rentals. I found my passion. And ours is Mortgage Talk Podcast. And this is where all the videos you can, rewatch it to get that Springhouse restaurant, which is very good. I know we say it every time, but it is actually good. It's a good restaurant. I really like going there. It's really good food, and it really does fill you up. But yeah, going back into seller credits, what a fantastic tool that is for buyers right now.
Absolutely.
Getting thousands of dollars in free money, and you do that with any purchase price that you get. You take it, regardless if it's $350,000, $400,000, $500,000, the max you could get is 6%.
And that's for realtors and buyers and sellers. All right, seller, this is what the buyers are wanting. This is what is motivating the buyers. This is what is making up for the interest rates and the markets. This is what is the advantage for a buyer. It can be a win-win situation. So sellers, agents, realtors representing sellers, realtors representing buyers, this is what saves our buyers money. And really, it's up to the sellers and the sellers' agents, realtors, to kind of educate themselves. Oh, when somebody wants this much seller credits, let's subtract that from the purchase price. Would you rather have a cash buyer coming in, or investors coming in offering 20 grand less, or give it to the person who's going to love the home, live in it, their first home, who's going to offer and the higher price for 20 grand, but ask for 20,000 seller credits? We're going to, this is also, because there's a lot of investors still buying homes. There's a lot there's action going on in the markets. Honestly, we talked about news and fear mongering. It's to stop people from making moves.
You know what creates fear is not knowing, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So please get out there, educate yourselves, right? On the market, on what's going on. Call lenders, grow your network, and make these opportunities happen. What I'm doing right now, guys, is trying to finish up all the projects that I have going on so I can refinance and get capital ready to deploy when I find good deals next year. That's my hopes, is finding great deals next year, right? Because everything is slowing down, as we know.
Right.
Great deals are starting to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
So being ready is key, guys. So right now, what I'm doing, like I mentioned, I'm finishing up all the projects that I have going on, refinancing everything, getting that dry powder ready, as we call it, that those liquid funds, so that I can go deploy them when I find those great opportunities.
Wow, that's amazing. And touching base on what you just said about growing your network and calling people, make sure that's so important to do, especially when you want to find the right person to do it, right? So if you're shopping for a lender and the first thing they want to do is pull your credit, that's like, no way, that's a red flag. I don't want you to pull my credit right away, right? Because we could do the pre-qualification without taking personal information. That's the beautiful part about it.
That's right.
Right? So, things like that, watch out for stuff like that. And that's why it's so important to network, do your homework, making sure you're going with the right people, the knowledgeable people, and who knows what they're talking about.
And I can speak to the market since I got thrown in this business in 1998. Okay.
Wow.
We are in I was 20 years old.
And that's why I'm with you, because of your experience, Robert.
I didn't even know what a home loan was. And I got thrown next. They said,
neither did I when I met you.
They said, sit next to this guy. He was the top producer. We did debt consolidation, second mortgages, because values were so low in California. We are in a healthy market. We're in a fine balance of being able to, own versus renting. What are the advantages? There's so many that, and you see all the, there's a reason when you buy right now, if you can pull it off and maintain, because your house payment, if long term, usually becomes lower than what rents eventually are.
Absolutely, I agree. You know how much the rents are nationwide, guys.
Yeah.
It's not just here in this market. It's nationwide. Rents are up.
Yeah, and another important reason why you should buy it too is you're not going to get anything that you can't afford. Whatever you're qualified for, the amount, that's what you can afford, and that's when you should buy, is when you know you can afford it. And that's also, again, touching back on what you said about networking and doing your homework, that's why it's important to go with the knowledgeable people, the people that are going to take care of you and do it correctly up front. Because, obviously you don't want to say, you could afford this much and then, obviously really can't, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why it's important to network, do your homework, and anything that you're going to buy, if you're ready to buy it, you're going to be able to afford it.
That's what led to the crash of 08.
Yeah, and well, that's the difference too in this market versus 08. 08, nobody was pre-qualified correctly. Nobody could afford what they were getting.
Ninja loans, right?
Yeah, exactly. And now after 08, everybody started getting pre-qualified correctly. That's why the anti-steering mortgage loan originator compensation rule came into play, and all those other ones. So to make it fair and friendly to buyers.
Absolutely, Bobby. Now, really quick, I just want to explain a scenario that I was in when the interest rates were very low. Okay. People would come to me, "Hey, Ray, what are you doing? How are you doing it? And what can I do in my situation?" So my brother-in-law, he has a house that he paid off, right? Mm-hmm. No more mortgage payment. He paid it off, and this was around the time, or a little bit before, the interest rates dropped to the lowest.
Right.
Ever.
Yes.
Ever.
And I told him, please take advantage of the lowest interest rates right now and pull out this money. Your payment's going to be very low because of the low interest rates. And you can go buy yourself another house, rent the one you're living in now, and do what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Reusing our capital, reusing our bank money, right? Leverage.
Absolutely, leverage.
And it just upsets me because a lot of people that I talk to, they didn't take advantage of that opportunity, and that's why I can't stress enough, guys. Opportunities come and they go. Please educate yourselves on recognizing great opportunities, because no one else is gonna teach you. No, you have to take it upon yourself to do it, and go out there and talk to people and educate yourself, guys, please.
Yeah, leading, and the best way is to lead by example, and that's what you've done. The beautiful thing is the asset he still has, a paid off home. Man, that's huge in itself.
Leverage to the max.
Regardless of taking it to another level, like we're trying to coach people up. One house could lead to another. That's a perfect example of one house leads to another. And once you own, you never go back. Getting off topic a little bit. I know time goes fast here. Off topic, I wanted to ask you, Ray, because they talk about the supply chain. We're getting onto the news. Bobby said we're going to talk about a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
What are you seeing out there? Because you still, like, you're a man of many trades. You still are hardcore. What are you seeing? Are we seeing supply? I mean, you deliver supplies as well as owning a business, a successful restaurant, multiple units up to 14, and a full-time job you're still maintaining.
Absolutely.
What are you seeing on the supply chain? As a friend, I wanted to ask you about that.
Okay. So before I took 3 weeks, going on 4 weeks off now from my W-2 job.
I was forced to take vacation.
And not many people can do this, right? Because they have no assets, they don't have other sources of income. And this is why I preach multiple sources of income, guys. Educate yourselves, and not just rely on one source of income. Okay, so I've been taking a few weeks off, but it has been slow, guys. Everything has been slow. You know this. Restaurants have been slow. Everybody is saving their money, buying gifts, the holidays, of course, and you guys understand this.
That's why we need to own a Macy's. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a great idea, man. I love the way you think. Think big.
But I was talking how you said you took a few weeks off of work, going on 4 weeks, and I was like, well, what's the point of a vacation if you have to go back to work, right? That's why you got to have the multiple income streams to where your W-2 job, you really don't need it, but you're doing it because you hustle.
Yes, and not only that, we have great benefits. The medical is awesome. I mean, we get, my wife had a surgery recently. I paid $0 out of pocket.
Oh.
I mean, that
Awesome.
says a lot. You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, working for a good company is huge, you know.
Yeah.
But when you were working, supplies looking good, you know, all that, because you delivered to restaurants. Too.
Yes, yeah, restaurants, hospitals, jails, wherever we can find a kitchen, we deliver. Now, not only that, I've been dealing with a lot of trades in the industry, right, when it comes to real estate and renovating. Today and yesterday, they actually ran a gas line for my ADU, and that's about done, guys. I can't wait till that thing is done. It's been a long time, but
talk about experience.
so I was talking to the crew, and they were telling me that they're actually busy right now, right? Dealing with the gas company and a lot of stuff going out. But different trades are busy, and some of my contractors are pretty busy right now. I'm not sure. It's a mixed feeling was what I'm getting, because you see consumers slowing down.
Yep.
But you see trades having busy. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I see nothing, honestly, for when we look at it. I mean, the news, man, try to watch the news. Give me a break. But when we get the stats from Bobby Tarango, we're in a healthy market. When we look at negotiating for buyers, wow, we can actually come up and make more than the people who bought when rates are low. You know, we're literally for the next 3 years buying at a better price and saving more money because we don't have to cover closing costs and rate buy down. Because people who got the super low rates bought down rates when they were super, super low. So it still all applies. You guys are always welcome to call Bobby and I. It's at 760-669-7813. My NMLS number is 322918. Bobby's NMLS number is 206-0902. You can go find us on Facebook, Instagram, Robert and Bobby Bulmer. You can find us both. We work for FBC Mortgage as an equal housing lender. Their NMLS is 152859. Raymond, tell them where you can find you. You know, let's tell them about all your stuff, and then we'll keep going.
My YouTube channel, Investing in Rentals. I found my passion. I talk about motivating and letting people and showing people what we're doing in hopes to motivate and influence them in thinking outside the box and not just relying on one source of income, right? This is what I'm trying to share so that we can all get out of this rat race. I call our W-2 jobs the rat race.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and on Instagram at Ray Aquino, and on TikTok at Ray Aquino 99. Yes, thank you guys.
Yeah, and you know, we're regular people. We're workers. We're trying to retire. Go ahead, Bobby.
Absolutely, we're trying to retire, and the sooner you can retire, and that goes back to what we've been talking about, is you can retire once you have those income streams, because realistically you're retired once you don't need your W-2 job anymore.
Financial freedom, baby.
Financial freedom gives you real freedom.
And then, I mean, basically, what I'm doing, buying these assets, is buying back my time. As
exactly,
you see that I've been off for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
Not worried about it. Beginning of the next year, I'm off for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wonderful to know that even if you lost your job, got injured, and you couldn't work anymore, that you'd be covered. Your cost of living will still be sustained by your assets.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to share with everybody. It's so powerful, man.
It is powerful. I had a question for you, I just popped in my head, but I've wondered this before. I just never had a chance to ask you. So, what's like your time frame when you like purchase an investment? You obviously have a time frame. Like, okay, over this amount of time, I'll start having a good positive net cash flow. What is like your time frame, and how many units do you have to be like, okay, I'm getting this much every month, I'm pretty cool?
Okay, depending on the scope of work, determines how long the project is going to take before I can rent it out.
Right.
So this ADU, for example, I was hoping for it to be done in about 6 months, no more,
Okay.
because of issues,
Right.
because of COVID and different issues with permitting. It's stretched out to about 20 months now.
Oh.
Yes. But no matter, we have no loan, no mortgage on this ADU.
Okay, that's cool.
We're doing it cash.
Okay,
We're
very nice.
building it cash. So thank God we have those reserves, right?
So once it's all done, when can you start making money on it? Immediately?
Immediately.
As soon as the rent is in there, that's positive net.
Positive net,
Gotcha,
yes.
okay.
And that's about a 20% return on my investment. And that's about $2,850 a month.
See, because I think people get confused about long-term investing, and they think, oh, it's going to take forever for me to make this money back. No, you're making that back instantly.
Instantly.
As soon as they're move-in ready, you automatically are making your money back. As soon as you have a renter in there.
Let me give you an example of the Pinion Hills property really quick. 2 houses on one property. The rear house is already rented, and that's bringing in about $1,300 a month while I'm working on the front one. Automatically, I have income on that property, and we bought that one cash as well. So guess what? Positive income from the get-go, guys. And of course, it took me a while to get to this level.
That's what I was going to mention. The evolution of
Yes.
where you're at now and why you're making the moves you're making now. So that's why Raymond's been on so long too, and it's kind of as the show's evolving. Is to answer your question even more in depth. This has been an evolution. He just didn't come out and say, I'm going to build a rental and subdivide my lot and build a rental back there that will rent for max.
Educating myself.
Yes, and it's been an evolution and what he's done each time, and we've talked about it a lot on previous shows, and an evolution in his mindset. Mm-hmm. I think from the very first time we met, the whole restructuring we had to do in the beginning. So, the mindset where we're at, it's Christmas time, it's traditionally slower in the whole industry, and really everywhere because it's the holiday season. So we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Remember, you guys can find Bobby and I, Robert and Bobby Bomer, on Facebook, Instagram. You can find us on YouTube, Mortgage Talk Podcast. We got more coming. You can call us at 760-669-7813. Raymond, tell us where you can get a hold of and eat your delicious food and all that good stuff.
Come reach or see us at Spring House Restaurant, 16441 Main Street in Hesperia, California. And check out my YouTube channel at Investing in Rentals. I found my passion, guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and give us a ring, and we'll be back next week.
Love y'all.
Merry Christmas.